So I actually studied to be a furniture designer, and I think I was inspired by really from a trip to Holland with my parents when I was about 15, I think, and seeing the work of De Stijl, Piet Mondrian, and the architecture and the furniture design that was coming out of that movement, I found was inspiring to me, and I think it was funny because I did a career kind of question and answer thing around about the same time, and you answer 100 questions of very random questions, and then you get a printout at the end of it that says this is the top 2 or 3 that we think you'd be ideally suited to. And I only had one. There was not 2 or 3. I only had one. And then you have a second category and third category. And the only one in there was furniture design. You wouldn't even think it's in the program. So it's kind of weird. And I'd started already sort of making little furniture designs and mock-ups, scale models and things. So really from quite a young age, relatively young age, I kind of knew what I wanted to do. So then I actually worked for an architect. Instead of doing a foundation course, an art foundation course, which is normally what you do in the UK, you do a kind of broad art foundation course for a year, and then you go on to do your degree. Instead of doing that, I worked for some architects, doing some design, some drafting, some model making and things. And then I studied furniture design. But midway through the course, I kind of hit a roadblock and had a kind of change of heart and decided that I wanted to do product design. So I talked to the course leaders and they said, well, you can't switch, because there was a product course alongside us, we're all intermingled. They said, you can't switch, you have to graduate as a furniture designer because that's what you're signed up to do. But we'll give you some leniency. So I sort of steered my projects that way. When I graduated, there were really no jobs in industrial design unless you were it was very clear what your talent was and how you could be applied, which wasn't really the case for me. I didn't really know what my core skill set was yet. I hadn't really discovered it, I knew I had something, but I didn't really know what it was. And then it probably took till I was about 25 to figure that out. Which was, that I have a real affinity for mechanics and an intuition for creating kind of user experiences and ingenious mechanisms to go with those.